Hey, Kyle here with part 2 of 3 of the Transformers animated Safeguard. I know in my last video I explained the story. It's a very interesting story. It's sort of what happens after the Elite Guard takes Starscream hostage, or not hostage, prisoner, back to Cybertron, but he escapes later on. Yada 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 yada. And if you've already seen the series, you already know what I'm talking about. For part 2, I am going to be doing the robot to jet mode, because when you open him up, he's already in robot mode. Just a few quick things on the figure. In robot mode, I mean, the figure is really nice. I have Jetstorm in vehicle mode because they have a combined jet mode. I'll show you that here when I'm finish transforming him. The only real gripe that I have is sometimes, well, the hips aren't too much of a problem. I was thinking when I saw some reviews on him that he would have the loose, basically brawl syndrome. But when you actually push it in there, his shoulders stay in place fairly well. I mean, the peg is not very big. It's a little peg there. It stays in fairly nicely. Fairly well. The other gripe that I have is the hands aren't very well. They're not very hand-like. I think it's because since they made it the nose cone, and they couldn't really do much with it, but at least they molded halfway decent hands. I mean, I'm all right with it. I usually have them in this combined mode, anyways. Nothing really to say about the robot mode. It's very simple. It's very nice, actually. I really enjoy it. I'm just going to hop right over the transformation because I have the 10-minute limit. First thing I do with transformation is there's this piece on the back. You flip that all the way up. It basically makes the top part of the jet. Pop his chest piece out of place and flatten it. Then you pop his arm down. His arm goes into his shoulder. Pop his arm down. Flip the entire arm around 180 degrees. Flatten his hands. Do the same thing with the other side. And there we go. He basically looks like a mutant protoform. A protoform who mutated when he was being molded. The next thing you do is pop the shoulders out, and there's actually on a hinge to where you swing the entire arm forward, and then you bring it down. Do the same with the other arm, and you sort of shimmy it into place. You bring the arms up to create the nose cone, and then you pop the hood down, or the cockpit down, and the two pegs go into the two little holes in the arms, and you have the front of Jetfire's jet mode. The legs are fairly simple. What I do is that I pull the foot up to there, and I fold the little heel spur in. You can tell it forms a little fist. I'll explain that in the next video. And then the hips are actually on some very strange joints. It's like the leg doesn't attach to the hip; it attaches to the leg piece. It's actually where it's hooked into. I mean, it hooks into the side, up in here, but it's actually more on a long hinge. What you do is you don't even hold on to the hip piece of armor. Basically, bring it up, flip in the leg, and then you basically just push it in. And there's a peg on the hip, on the little hip place, and you line that up, and then you try to find the perfect angle for it. Do the same with the other one. that in there and try to find a good position for them both. Sort of gotta shim it a little bit. And that's basically the back piece, but you bring out these. In the comic book, these are actually wings. I mean, they should actually, I would like it better if they were just solid wings. Because in the comic, where is the one where they show their vehicle mode? Here we go. I don't know if you can see it very well, but that's that little shiny, little transparent, flamey piece. They actually have solid wings. They don't have these little fire wings. I mean, it would have been nice if it would have just been solid wings, but I think since they put those things on the tips of on their arms, they sort of had to balance it out. So it would look just really weird if it just had this fancy little thing on the front, but nothing in the back. You know, you got to balance it out. And still, they look very identical, but the little invisible pieces are very different. Actually, this looks more like a more windish, like wind, and fire-ish. I'm trying to make sure that they're set properly. Yes, they are set properly. And these, in their jet modes, they actually combine. There's pegs on the bottom. I usually start at the nose cone, pop that in, and then where their chest pieces were, there's pegs on those too, so you push the inside of the chest pieces together. I mean, I thought the very back piece here, the little back piece here would attach, but it doesn't. It's just here and here. And then you have that little, it's that scene to where they attach, and then they do this little fancy spiral thing. They're basically a super jet at this point. I actually like it. It's different. I don't think I think these guys are fairly unique. I mean, they're not really part of anything in like G1 or something. I just realized something. Shorter plate. Yeah, those plates are far enough back. I just got these. I just opened these up today. So, there we go. It's also a good way to see if these are all lined up. Like, it's all lined up now. I really enjoy this guy. I mean, there's no real gripes about him. I think this is a really good figure. I would suggest getting them if you like jets. Especially Autobot jets like these. I think these are the only Autobot jets in all of the animated line. I think they are. Not a surprise. But I mean, I like the. Oh, I will shoot you from the top and the bottom. Ha ha ha! Or I can shoot you left and right. Oh ha ha ha! I'm gonna separate them. They come apart very easily. Very good toys. I mean, if you can find them in stores, I'd get it. I don't know. I think these are fairly rare to find in stores because people buy them immediately and sell them for like triple the price, which is really stupid. It's just wasting other people's money. I mean, I understand if it's for profit, but if it's a main source of profit, I don't like it. This is part 2 of 3 of my Safeguard. I'm gonna call it Project Safeguard review. I'm uploading the part 1 right now. Hit the camera. I will have part 3 up soon, if it's not already up. This is Kyle Likes Pie, signing out. Bye-bye!